Video I'll discuss about the atoms and molecules and uses of different elements and compounds on the basis of their properties. So, an atom can be defined as the smallest individual unit of an element which exhibits all the properties of that element and may or may not have independent existence. These atoms can take part in chemical reactions. Atoms were discovered by the famous scientist John Dalton. Whereas a molecule can be defined as the smallest unit of an element or a compound which exhibits all the properties of that element or compound and has independent existence. They are divisible into atoms. Molecules do not take part in chemical reaction. So here you can find the two difference between the atoms and the molecules also. The first difference that the atoms may or may not have independent existence, whereas molecules has independent existence. Second, atoms can take part in chemical reactions, whereas molecules do take part in chemical reactions. Now next, molecules of elements. When two or more atoms of the same element combine, they form the molecule of an element. For example, two atoms of hydrogen combine to form one molecule of hydrogen, and three atoms of oxygen combine to form one molecule of ozone. And when atoms of two or more elements combine, they form a molecule of a compound. For example, a water molecule is formed by two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Another example, a molecule of carbon dioxide is formed by one atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. Okay. Now, next is the atomicity. The number of atoms in a molecule of an element is called its atomicity. Atomicity are of many types. The first one is monoatomic. Means a molecule is said to be monoatomic when it contains only one atom. For example, helium, potassium, sodium, calcium. Whereas diatomic, a molecule is diatomic when it contains two atoms. Example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine. Next is triatomic. A molecule is said to be triatomic when it contains three atoms. Example, ozone. Next is polyatomic. A molecule is said to be polyatomic when it contains more than three atoms. For example, phosphorus and sulfur. Phosphorus contains 4 atoms in its molecule, whereas sulfur contains 8 atoms in its molecule. Now next is formula. A formula is a short way of representing the molecule of an element or a compound. Like 2H. 2H represents 2 atoms of hydrogen, while H2 represents 1 molecule of hydrogen. Same way, 2O2 represents 2 molecules of oxygen, while 2O represents 2 atoms of oxygen. Clear? Now, characteristics of formulae, or we can say the importance of the formula. Better to say importance of a formulae. A formula gives us the following information about the compound. Like the first one, types of elements present in the compound. Second, number of each kind of atoms in one molecule of the compound. Third, ratio of different types of atoms present in the molecule. And fourth, mass of one molecule of the compound. For example, a molecule of carbon dioxide gas is represented by CO2. So this indicates that a carbon dioxide molecule is formed by the combination of two elements. Which are the two elements? Carbon and oxygen. The number of carbon atoms is 1 and that of oxygen atom is 2. The mass of one molecule of carbon dioxide can also be calculated by adding the mass of one atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. Clear? Now, next is the uses of different elements and compounds on the basis of their properties. So let's just discuss first. Start with the gold. Clear? So gold, platinum, silver, they are lustrous. They shine and look very attractive. They can also remain in free state. They do not tarnish in air, means do not get faded in air. Therefore, these metals are used to make jewelries. Clear? And they are not very reactive. They are very attractive and they are not very reactive. Clear? Next is copper and aluminium. Copper and aluminium are good conductors of heat and electricity. They can be drawn into wires and beaten into sheets. Therefore, they are used to make utensils, electric wires, etc. Copper can be mixed with metals like zinc and tin to produce mixtures like brass and bronze, which are stronger and durable. They are used to make statues, utensils, doorknobs, handles, machine parts, etc. Next is iron. Iron is one of the most useful of all metals. It is strong and easily available. Therefore, it is used to make heavy tools and machines. Next is diamond. Diamond is the hardest naturally occurring substance. It shines brilliantly. Pure diamond is used as a gem, while impure diamond is used to cut glass. Next is graphite. Graphite can mark the paper black. It is used to make lead of the pencils. It is also used to make lubricants. Coal, wood and natural gas burn to produce lots of heat energy. Hence, they are used as fuels. Next is water. Water is considered to be a universal solvent. It carries dissolved substances around in blood in animals and as sap in plants. It is used to prepare solutions of medicinal and industrial importance. It has various other uses in our daily life. Next is plastic. Plastic is a non-conductor used as an insulator. There are different types of plastic materials used for making bags, shoes, balls, bats, tires, pipes, etc. Next is sand. Sand is a compound used to prepare glass. Next, argon and neon. A noble gas such as argon or neon is filled in electric bulbs due to its inert nature. Inert nature means it's not reactive in nature. It does not react with the tungsten filament of the bulb and prevents it from destruction. Diamond, graphite and coal, they all are what? They all are the different forms of the element. Which element? Carbon element. Okay.